say whatever you want about SAO 1, but you cannot tell me that SAO 2 didn't come and deliver. Like, even the middle stuff, while yeah, that was probably a little bit slow, like, that's the only thing a part of SAO 2 that I would say didn't come and completely add on, or whatever, the Excalibur sword arc. But aside from that, like, the slow pacing of, you know, this little arc, whatever, in the beginning, all of it added up and amounted to something. And arguably, I would say I would have liked maybe if they would have changed certain things to kind of like fit everything in one. I think it would have been interesting, and I know obviously a lot of people, they want strict adaptations, you know, no funny business or whatever, and that's understandable. But if they would have done it correctly, I think it would have been interesting if we would have had Gun Gale going on at the same time as this arc right here, Mother's Rosario. So while Kirito's going through some stuff, we could have had Asuna going through some stuff as well. But either way, this episode, this final episode of SAO 2, it was a tearjerker, and ultimately I enjoyed the ending. I honestly felt as though it came and it set out to make you kind of feel them feels, and it did so. Gonna be doing a double review in this video, just letting you guys know. Gonna be doing the SAO finale and the Fate Stay Night episode. So this episode, in all honesty, it was just really sad. It was honestly like building you up, because it was gonna let you know, yeah, shit's gonna go down in this episode and you're gonna feel it. It started off very festive, and the way it was done, it was really trying to execute, like making you feel like, oh man, you know, spending time with these characters. And I think that's one of the good things that it did as well with all these episodes, is like you're spending time with Yuki, you're getting to know her, and you feel a certain way afterwards. Like, you know, you had a few episodes, at least, what, like 5-6 episodes of being around this character and seeing what this character wanted, and some of those words, you know, the last few words that she had ultimately with Asa and everything, it just kind of really got me. I don't care what anyone says. If you didn't feel it, you know, that's fine. Understandable. People aren't going to feel the same thing, but personally, this final episode definitely got me. It got me, and I just honestly felt bad, because one of the things is that I can honestly feel it because of the severity of it, the realism of it, simply because in the real world, people go through that shit all the time. So to see something like that in here, it was just like, it caught me off guard, and the way it was done good. And I really hope that if we get a season 3 at some given point of SAO, that some of the stuff from Mother's Rosario, including the skill and the character development that Asuna got, carries over, because I think that this arc helped to give a lot more character to her. We learned more about Asuna, and ultimately it's gonna just build her as a character. Like it set out, I think one of the major things is to say, here, you don't know really who's Asuna, we're going to tell you who's Asuna now. We're going to tell you why she's awesome, etc., etc. It's like, I'm glad that Kirito was more on like the back burner for this arc, because it helped to flesh out Asuna, and I think that was one of the things that it accomplished as well, especially with this final episode, just the feels, man, the feels. But one of the things that got me as well was the ending, when we find out that it seemingly was Kayaba that had the plans or whatever, and he already had developed things, and it's like, Kayaba is still out there, and I really hope at some given point we get to address Kayaba and see exactly what he was looking for, because to this day, I still scratch my fucking head when he basically said, I forgot why I started all this. Like, I definitely want, at some given point, whether it's SAO 3, I don't even know if it's been done yet in the light novels or not, but I definitely want to see Kayaba again at some point, even if it's just his mind inside the game or whatnot, because it was like, that was a really interesting way to end it, as far as having Kayaba yet again coming back. I feel as though he's an overarching, like, I don't say villain or antagonist, but just a presence overarching everything. So, you know, we go through 20-something episodes, and yet again, he has some sort of involvement, whether it's good or bad. And it kind of makes me wonder, is there more to it to Kayaba? Like, did he do this because he was under pressure? I really wonder, what is there? Like, they could definitely build off of that in season 3 of SAO. And with all that being said, very emotional ending, very emotional arc, Mother's Rosario. Really enjoyed it, and you can say whatever you want about SAO 1. I will probably agree with most of the things you will say about SAO 1 because of just what they did, but you cannot tell me that SAO 2, for the most part, was just a very good season. It was just very good. Like, between the Gun Gale Online stuff, and again, the middle stuff with the Excalibur, okay, that probably could have been X'd out, but Mother's Rosario came, it delivered, it gave Asuna a character, it gave her a very sad journey and more spotlight, and it kind of told a sad story, and I think it just really got me. The execution was right. I mean, you made a lot of people care about a character and even cry over it, the realism of it, in only 5 to 6 episodes, and connected it, and gave character development, so yeah. Job well done. But let me know what you thought of this episode of SAO. How did you feel? Did you cry? Did you get them feels for Yuki at the end? I mean, it was fucking sad, man. Honestly, it went out on a sad note, and it's weird because SAO 1, you know, finished the season off with kind of like, yay, we're going into the sunset, and SAO 2 just had me like, emotional. And overall, as a whole, SAO 2, how did you feel about that? Would you like an SAO 3 at some given point? And yeah, gonna miss SAO a bit. And now jumping into the Fate Stay Night episode, the reason why I'm doing a combo review is because there wasn't really too much to say about Fate Stay Night episode 11, I believe it was today. It was exposition heavy, very exposition heavy. It was like building up a little bit on the romance between Shiro and Rin, but aside from that, this was one of those stepping stone episodes that if you marathoned it, you probably would have gotten through it and enjoyed it or whatever, but kind of getting it weekly, it felt like, you know, we didn't have any progression pretty much at all. Like, we got a little bit of characters like, you know, talking and, you know, relationship building and things like that, but a good chunk of it was comedy with the teacher. I kind of liked seeing Rin like snapping back or whatever. It's like, how dare you? That just goes to show that Rin is a boss chick as well. I think one of the other things that this episode helped to do is to showcase that what Shiro did, you can't call it an ass pull, because first of all the build-up we had and everything I explained last week, but then also, look at the repercussions. The dude is fucking going through it right now. He had like, his arm is numb and everything, so it showcased that was something, you know, he had to sacrifice pretty much his body going numb in order to achieve it. Kuzuki's still hiding like a bitch-ass motherfucker. Now, let me stop, because he was a beast. Kuzuki was a motherfucking beast. But yeah, he's pretty much in hiding right now. It's like, oh, he's sick. No, he's outside, like, you know, banging Castor. He's like, boom, boom. And then I think the biggest thing that this episode did was when Archer showed up again. One of the things is there's a lot of mystique about him. It really makes you question, if you don't know anything about Fate Stay Night, why does Archer know so much about these things? He knows exactly what's going on with Shiro. He knows a lot of different things. And again, it just builds up on the mystery surrounding him and his presence and who he truly is. And then he just comes and shits on all of Shiro's ideals. And it really shows that one of the things that he has a problem with Shiro is he has different ideals. And it kind of frustrates him to the point where he wants to fuck him up at his idealistic world where he thinks like, you know, I'm going to save everyone and everything. And Archer, he's been through it. So to a certain degree, I can empathize with Archer and what he's thinking about Shiro, because it's like, motherfucker, I've been through hell and back. You are not going to tell me your idealistic bullshit is going to work. Like, you just can't tell me. So I definitely empathize and sympathize with where he's coming from with it, but he just comes across as a dick. And yeah, this episode, pretty average to fine, to be honest with you. Again, not a whole lot happened, but it was giving more exposition and character building. So yeah, it was there. But let me know what you thought of this episode. What do you think about Archer? What do you think is his involvement for anime only viewers? And yeah, again, it was one of those episodes that if you marathoned it, you probably would have enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than watching it weekly. But that's all I have for this double review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.